Today I'm going to explain to you why some prepositions in German can be followed either by the accusative or by the dative. It's the same prepositions, but there is a simple rule that helps us to understand if we need to use the dative or the accusative. This topic is very important because it's really basic sentences and situations you need these prepositions we talk about today. So you pretty much need it all the time. Some of you have already asked why I didn't talk about some prepositions. So that's already the answer. So we have in total 9 prepositions where we have to apply this rule, and we will focus on the 4 or 5 most important ones. We already talked about temporal prepositions and prepositions that are always followed by the dative. So today it's all about the local meaning of prepositions. As you remember, prepositions are those tiny little words that link different parts of a sentence. So our first preposition is in. So now let's take a look at 2 examples to understand the difference. Ich gehe in die Schule. Ich bin in der Schule. So if you have already watched my previous videos about accusative and dative, I will link them below. You will understand the first sentence is in the accusative and the second in the dative. So what's the difference now? We can clearly see that in the first sentence there is a movement. I am going from one place to another. So it's not only a movement, I am changing my position from position A to position B. In the second example, I am not moving or not changing my position. I am at school. Ich bin in der Schule. I'm not going anywhere. I am at school. So for the dative case, a person or object needs to be in a fixed position. So let's do another example. Wir gehen in den Zoo. It's der Zoo im Nominativ, so we have in den Zoo in the accusative. Oder wir sind im Zoo. So we have arrived, we are now inside. So as you can see, we say ich bin or wir sind im Zoo. So there is another thing going on with in. In is one of the prepositions. We can melt the preposition and the article into one word. Ich bin in dem Zoo. We can say ich bin im Zoo. It's just shorter, you don't have to do it now, but once you understood it, I think it's easier and shorter. We can do that with the neutral and male article. Both are dem in the dative, but not with the female article. Ich bin in der Schule, there is no option to make this shorter. Im is really a preposition you need all the time, so try to do some examples on your own and try to understand this concept. Our second preposition is auf. Der Vogel fliegt auf den Baum. Der Vogel sitzt auf dem Baum. So you see the difference. In the first example, the bird is changing the direction, is flying onto the tree. And in the second example, he's just sitting on the tree. Fixed position, no movement or no change of position. Let's do another example. Der Hase springt auf den Tisch. Die Banane liegt auf dem Tisch. So just take a look again at the chart to remember how we have to change the articles for the accusative and dative. Our third preposition is for. Ich fahre vor die Garage. So I'm still driving, I'm still changing my position, but now take a look at the dative example. Ich parke vor dem Haus. So I'm at this position in front of the house and not moving or not changing my position anymore. Our fourth preposition is an. Ich hänge das Bild an die Wand. So I'm in the process of doing this. So I'm literally changing the position of the picture from the table to the wall. But later, when I've finished, we must say, das Bild hängt an der Wand. Now it's there, hopefully forever, and it's in that fixed position. It's die Wand, so we have to change it to der Wand in the dative. An is the second preposition, or the second of the prepositions we talk about today, where we can meld the preposition and the article to one word. So an plus dem for the male and neutral article will be am. So you can do it once again, but you don't have to do it. So these four prepositions you need very often. Now we would take a brief look at 5 more prepositions that are a little less important, but the system is always the same, so it should be easy for you to memorize. Hinter der Tür ist ein Schrank. So you recognize we have to use the dative. The cupboard is there in a permanent position, so it's dative. Ich gehe über die Straße. That's a very common sentence. I'm crossing the street. So it's obviously a movement. I'm changing my position from one side of the street to another. So we need to use the accusative. Die Schuhe stehen unter dem Bett. So once again, we need the dative case here. Neben dem Haus steht ein Baum. So there is a tree next to the house. It's always there. It's not changing its position. And the last one is zwischen. Ich parke zwischen den Bäumen. So my final parking position is between 2 trees. In this sentence you also see the plural of the dative article den. So I think this rule is already very clear and obvious. You just have to decide whether an object or person is changing its position or is in a fixed position. But if you don't like that rule, you can do also another thing. You can ask a question. And the question for the accusative sentence is wohin? Where do you go to? So the question implies you're changing your position. And for the dative, you can ask wo. So where are you? Where is something? So that's our second option. And I want to conclude by saying that this rule is really very helpful. It will help you in more than 90% of the cases. But there may be a situation it's a bit unclear, it's a question of interpretation, or there is just a difference between formal or informal language or even regional dialect. So if your goal is to search for an exception or prove me wrong, you'll be able to do it, I'm sure. But as a beginner, you should really focus on this 90+% of the cases where you can apply this rule. And once again, if you can do this dative-accusative distinction and apply these rules, your German will sound so polished and you're already so far ahead of everybody else. So let's do a little exercise together. I hope this video has helped you. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.